Hello and welcome, whether you're joining us live in the studio, on Zoom, or on Catch Up. Welcome to our 7 Spiritual Laws of Yoga class. You're all very welcome. So, as usual, take a few moments to settle yourself in. Feel free to choose lying or sitting for the start of your practice. And let's bring our attention inwards now, focusing on the breath, the calm, steady breath, and maybe the breath is still a little shallow. Maybe you've been rushing, so it's a little quick. So let's consciously bring our awareness to our breath, the inhale and the exhale of the natural breath, and focusing on a belly breath. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, navel back to spine. And observe the pause, the gap between the inhale and the exhale. If it helps, feel free to put your hands on your belly, and you can check therefore that you're breathing into the belly. The belly will expand on the inhale. There's a pause. Exhale, navel back to spine. And you may even like to start to lengthen your exhale. If it helps, feel free to count. Perhaps breathe in for 4 and out for 6, or if you have the capacity, out for 8. These are very calming breaths, and they help us move from the sympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic, the rest, digest, and the heal. So just focus on your breath, always the foundation of our practice. Even if you just come to yoga to learn to breathe well, that's a good reason. The principle we are practicing today is the law of karma, normally associated with a Tuesday. And we use a mantra, because a mantra also helps us go into a deeper state of calm, form of meditation. And trained by the Chopra Center, I'm trained to work with mantra, and we have a Soham meditation, Soham, for our seated meditation, but for our 7 Spiritual Laws of Yoga, we know we have a principle for each day of the week and a mantra associated with a chakra. Today we're focusing on Muladhara, the root chakra. The principle is the law of karma, and it states, my actions are aligned with the universe. Om Kriyam Namaha. And we say this out loud with me. My actions are aligned with the universe. Om Kriyam Namaha. My actions are aligned with the universe. Om Kriyam Namaha. Just the Sanskrit. Om Kriyam Namaha. Whisper. Om Kriyam Namaha. And silently in our head. And let's just repeat that mantra to ourselves for the next few moments. Just let it resonate with you. So we all know the word karma, as we sow, so we reap. That's it in essence. But it's more than that, and there's deeper meaning to it. It reminds us to be conscious of the choices we make in life, so we become conscious choice makers. So the next moment, the action we create or make or say, the words we use, do not come back in a negative way, to give us negative karma. And applying this practically to our yoga class, this means be conscious of the choices you make in your physical choices, in your asana. So practically and very really, we don't feel a negative consequence from our class tomorrow or the following day. So let's just have this in our awareness, a few more moments, awareness of the breath, maintaining that calm, steady breath. Moving into this calm state of mind. And we're going to begin the physical practice with sitting, and then we will come back to some lying work, because today's principle is associated with the root chakra, so anything from the perineum downwards, hips, knees, feet, our sense of being rooted and feeling a sense of stability in life. So we're going to begin with the Sufi roll, which is a really lovely asana because you directly bring your awareness to Muladhara, the root chakra. And for this, if you're lying, very slowly, never rush, come to sitting, and we place the soles of the feet together. And we sit as tall as we can, and we simply just rotate in the pelvis, and we circle around. And you can make that circle as large as you can manage. You can open the knees as wide as you can. If you need to use a block or anything similar to sit on, please do. But let's all bring the awareness, the attention to the root chakra. So in gentlemen, it's in the perineum. In ladies, it's in our cervix. And we know this is an energy center where lots of our energy channels, known as nadis, meet. The color is an earthy red. So let's visualize we're inside today. It's not quite warm enough to be outside. If you were watching on catch-up, or even if you're in Zoom in a warmer part of the country and you'd like to be outside, it's a lovely thing to do, just sitting on the earth, the grass, wherever you happen to be, and just feel that connection to the earth. And as we do this, we're just staying in one direction right now. As you start to loosen up a fraction, just maybe you can go a bit further forward, maybe a bit more sideways, maybe a bit more back. And then without opening the eyes, go the other way. And as we become more aware of our chakra centers, as we become more well, more balanced, we may start to feel energy in these points. So again, that might be something that occurs, that you actually start to feel the energy in these centers. And it's normally a sense of warmth or heat, slight pulsation. But again, don't seek it, just be conscious that this may occur. We'll do a few more. Just let your body roll. There's no right or wrong way. In fact, be nice and calm and relaxed about it. Just feel into it. And then staying in this position for a few moments, we're going to do our lion's breath here. So our lion's breath is a big exhale. We're quite far apart from each other in the studio today. We're not too many of us, so you can do it, just not as loud as you might do at home. So we look up to the ceiling, tongue comes out. Just keep it fairly gentle. And if you feel more comfortable putting your masks on in the studio while we're doing these sorts of breaths, feel free to do so. That we suggested that is a good idea, really, particularly if we're doing a slightly bigger breath. And just see if you can just flow with that. Again, it's a circling action, trying to get that movement in the lower back, the hips, the sacroiliac joints, the knees, the ankles. We'll do it twice more. Last one. Drop the head down. And as we exhale, open the arm and look up to one arm. Take the head towards your feet. Exhale and do a twist. Take that as far as your body allows. Looking up to the hand, if that's comfortable to you. Drop the head down and really give yourself a good side stretch here. That's it, lovely. Well done, everybody. Good. And then let's come to one side and open that arm and bring it towards our ear now. Stretching, feeling this whole side body stretching. As we know, breathe into areas of discomfort. Don't force it. Remember our law of karma, if we force this, then karmic consequence would be pulled muscle or at least some pain or discomfort. So being conscious, learning to be very mindful. Let's go to the other side. Open out. Nice, calm, steady breath. Bring your arm towards your ear. Feel the side body stretching. Then maybe it helpful just to slightly move around even in this position. Just give yourself a little bit of a wiggle out or an ease, what feels good to you. Good. And then come back up again. And another one that you'll often see me use when we're in this position, let's do the seaweed. So our hands are like on the floor of the sea, as our body is, and we just sway now. And just allow yourself to sway. So again, thinking of this, the sea, the elements that we're grounded on the sea floor, and the calmness. You might like to think of yourself as underwater, and it's just a lovely calm, peaceful sensation. And you just sway, and just like seaweed would on the floor of the sea, if it was connected to some rocks or something, just allow yourself to move. No right or wrong way, it's purely intuitive, what feels good to you. I would keep the eyes closed so we're not trying to compare, contrast. We're very much in the moment. And maybe just see if there's a little bit more movement to come. And, you know, what feels good to you? Twisting, rotating, forward, back movements. That's it, good. Lovely. Now, let's very slowly bring the legs back in. We'll be looking at hip openers more next week. And we're going to roll back to the spine because we're going to do some really lovely work now for our feet, our knees, and some good stretching. So we'll roll down. And as always, I'd like to bring in knee to chest pose. Great release for the lower back, great for the abdominal area, great if there's any indigestion. Left leg stretches out, massage your ascending colon. Good. So you know, I've mentioned it on frequently, a healthy elimination system is crucial to our well-being. If we hold waste products in our gut, this is not good. As we begin to circle the right ankle now, we're working with the foot, of course, at the same time squeezing the belly with your right thigh. Chin tucks in, go the other way with your ankle circle. If you've got any wind pain, it's also known as wind relieving poses. I was showing this to one of our ladies last night in my face yoga meditation, had some abdominal discomfort. And I said I do this every day. I've already done it this morning. Bring the leg close to your body, left leg lifts up off the mat, nose to knee, if that's an appropriate action for your neck. Bringing your head off the floor, that is. Hold on the up, stay with the breathing, push way into your left heel, just hold it for a few moments. And softly come down. And let's on this side extend the right leg and bend at the knee while we trace circles in the air to, excuse me, to work the knee joint. Good. So remember to stretch your leg fully. That's it. Good, everybody. We know there's about 8 circles in each direction. Don't be attached. If you do 9 or 10 or 7, it doesn't matter. Just as long as that's your intention to do about that amount. So feeling into our joints of our lower legs. How are they doing for us today? And then on that right side, let's take a lovely stretch. Take an inhale and a sigh. Let go. Having the intention to let go. And now we come to left side. Massage the descending colon. Right leg is stretched away from us. Squeeze the belly with your left thigh. Descending colon. One of the questions when we have gone on our Ayurvedic retreats to India, and we do it here as well, we're not in as much depth because we're not Ayurvedic doctors, one of the questions they do ask you in your consultation, circle your ankle as I'm talking, is how regular are your bowel habits? Ideally, 2 bowel movements a day, and certainly 1. So if that's not happening, it's not the time or place for me to talk about in any more depth now, but please do speak to myself or James, or we can look at that sort of work and consultation or on a retreat, and Ayurvedic supplements to help with that. So let's circle the ankle one way then the other. Bring the leg to midline, right leg lifts up, nose to knee, squeezing the belly with your left thigh. Hold on the up, stay with it, keep pushing away. So building some strength here. And slowly lying down. Extend the left leg, bend at the knee. Trace a circle with the big toe. Feeling into the left knee now. That's it. Maybe you have a creak, and just had a big creak. And go the other way. And again, don't worry about that. It's usually just a ligament. Sometimes it's a joint, but it's just a sign that you're moving. Good. Good. And then take that leg down and take a full stretch on the left. Another inhale. And a sigh. And then interlace both hands. Push the heels of the feet, heels of the hands away. Again, as if you're on that rack. Breathing in. And sigh. And one more, in and sigh. Now we're going to use a strap or resistance band, or it could even be a scarf or anything similar, to do some really good deep stretching of the legs now and around the hips. So if you have a yoga strap or something similar, you can take hold of it. And we start with the right leg. I always work on the right side because of the ascending colon. And we start with a hamstring stretch. So we're going to begin by flexing and pointing the ankle. Now we've already done a circle for the ankle, now doing a flex and point. And as you stretch, see if you can really stretch around the back of the knee and feel that hamstring stretch and just be with it now. Keep the eyes closed, steady breathing. So releasing on that hamstring. And now we're going to do the hips. We're going to drop the leg over to the side and begin to make a big circle in the air with your foot. You can make your circle as large as you like, as long as you don't rock around in your pelvis. So you might like to put your left hand on your left hip and keep the core stable. So remembering our Pilates work, this nice stable core, but making this really lovely big circle to loosen into that hip joint. That's it. So I really like this group of exercise. We haven't done it for a while, so it's good to revisit it today. And go the other way with that hip circle. We do actually do this exercise in both yoga and Pilates. If you were super strong in your core, you could actually, and your good flexibility, you can actually manage without a strap, but that's only if you have a really strong core. And you may be very flexible. Some of our yoga teachers are very flexible, but they don't have stability, and then you're going to end up with back issues as well. So we don't want that, clearly. So just perhaps keep the strap. Now, hold on to your left hip and take the right leg over to the right side, but don't twist your pelvis. And feel that inner thigh stretch. And again, just breathe into it without force, soft, calm, steady breath. So let's remember it's a belly breath, but I'm learning a slightly different way of breathing from doing the breathwork classes with Georgie. It's a full belly breath, but we're not breathing more deeply than we need to. In fact, we try to slightly soften the breath because that helps us have more oxygen. So again, this is a completely new way of me learning and of learning how to breathe. We'll still keep up with all our normal breath work, you know, the pranayams we do, but when we're doing our normal breathing, calm, full, steady breath, a slow breath, but not deeper than you need to. And again, if you want to learn more about that, then that's another class. So now let's put the strap into our left hand. The right arm will stretch out. Make sure you've got enough space over to your left side and take your right leg as near to the mat or the floor on the left side as you can, but without lifting your right shoulder. And then you're going to turn your head over to your right side. So you've got your spine twist now. Keep breathing. If you're flexible, you may be able to hold the toes of your right leg with your left hand, but if that's not achievable, just stay with your strap. And then there is another option in this sequence where you can bend your left knee, hold your foot, your left foot with your right hand, and then turn yourself back to the right. So then you have a quadricep stretch, as well as a glute, as well as a spine stretch, and this is known as cat pulling its tail. So not everybody can manage that final part. And if you are doing the cat pulling its tail, your right shoulder will lift off the floor. That's okay, don't worry about that. And now slowly bring that right leg back, straighten out your left leg and give yourself another stretch. You might find you can go quite a bit further than you did at the beginning. And then this is always really interesting. Slowly lower the right leg, lie in a straight line on the mat. Take an inhale on your right again and sigh. Stretch your left side out. And notice, I hope, that you all feel a very obvious difference. Much more length on the right side. Maybe, to me, I feel as if I'm about 4 inches longer on my right side, which I probably am. And not only that, a sense of more lightness on the right side. That's your energy body. So this sequence of stretching and movement is a really good illustration of how much stretch we can always create. So let's come to our left side. So clearly it began with the hamstrings. We flex and point the ankle. And as you flex the ankle, notice how we stretch around the back of the knee. And then hold that stretch for a few moments. Tuck your chin in. Eyes are closed. Your breath is quiet and calm. Shoulders are down. As we're holding on the strap, observe how much tension you're putting into your wrists and forearms. Can you soften off? We don't need more tension than is necessary, so soften off. Now begin the hip circle, so lengthen the strap and begin to make a lovely big hip circle of the left leg. If you're not so strong in your core, you can pull on the strap more so your pelvis is able to have a little assistance there. If you're quite strong, don't pull on the strap hardly at all. Go one way, go the other way. The strap actually helps us get a little bit more movement, you'll find, because you can actually guide your hip to make a bigger circle. This is a really important exercise for hips. It's one that we use for people with any sort of hip issues. They need to build up core strength. If they have a hip replacement, need a hip replacement, this is one of the exercises we use to help them get the mobility back. So hold that stretch back in the air. Hold on to your right hip while you take your left leg over to the side without twisting your pelvis. Keep your right buttock on the mat and just breathe into that left hip. Nice calm breath. This is quite an invigorating song. Ideally we'd be doing Salute to Sun by now, but we're not, so no attachment. I have a playlist, which should work with the class. And then we come back to the center, take hold of the strap in your right hand, left hand stretches out, left leg goes to the right side, a spine twist, look over to your left side, don't lift your left shoulder, breathe into any area of pain or well, when I say pain, your muscles may be very uncomfortable, which may feel painful, but remember pain, any real obvious pain, worsening pain is not good. Don't allow that to happen, ease up. If you want to hold on to your big toe, you can. And if you want to bend at your left knee and hold the toe of the left foot, still turning to the left, go ahead. Toe of your right foot, apologies. Get your arms and legs a bit mixed up when you twist it in this way. So just breathe with it, soften, surrender. And then bring that left leg back into the air, right leg will straighten out. One more hamstring stretch. Can you go a bit deeper, lengthening that stretch? Good, lovely. Good, well done everybody. Those hamstrings aren't too bad at all. That's good. And actually having your hamstrings improving. Very much so, that's good. So lie on your back everybody and take a full stretch out on the left. Inhale, sigh. Both arms, both legs, feel more even. Let's do both arms to legs together, interlace the hands, because we can be longer on one side. Breathing in, one more big sigh, good. And then bend our knees and we're coming back to sitting now. So as hopefully you can all feel, we've done plenty of work for the lower body today. That was the intention. Let's do a little bit work for the upper body before we come into standing. Sit cross-legged. Maybe you will find your cross-sitting or your shoelace position a little bit easier because we've done, good joint work to release there today. Sit tall. Be on your sit bones. Use any blocks you might need. Wrists now. Use Bhastrika. If you have your master hand and you want to put them on, feel free to breathe a bit more strongly. That's what we've been doing on Monday. Otherwise, just keep it light in the studio, stronger at home through the nose. Nice, strong movement for the wrists, like softness in the elbows. Tuck your thumbs under and begin to circle your wrists. When we come to standing, we'll be looking at exercises which all yoga exercises involve stability, but we're particularly looking at that when we're working with karma. It's about learning to be rooted, feeling earthed, connected to the earth. So how we stand, how we place our hands on the ground is very significant. Hands to your shoulders. Begin to circle into your shoulders, feeling into your shoulders. Keep breathing. Sit tall. Awareness on heart chakra. Feel the shoulders. Go the other way again, just acknowledging, not judging. If we can come out from that judgmental, dualistic thinking. Just awareness. Okay, my shoulders are a bit stiff today. I'm aware of it. Put your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your left for a moment. Breathe into your heart. Allow the emotions to arise. Touching your heart, is such a good thing and a healing thing to do. This in itself brings energy to the heart. Awareness, the healing power of touch. As always, just let whatever feelings arise without judgment. Emotions. Again, just check in with your breath. Are you still focusing on this calm, steady breath into the belly, but not forced breath, not deeper than it needs to be, not forcing anything. And then let's switch sides so you can swivel around if you're in shoelace position, otherwise just simply cross. That's the other side, so our left leg is on top. Good. Next now, chin to chest, half circle. Nice and steady. Lift up, look from side to side. All the way around. Look right over your shoulders, stay with your breath. And just feel into your neck. Other way. Come back to center. Take hold of the base of the neck, the lengthening stretch. Hold on the neck base. Look up, open chest. Breathe. Look down. Self-massage. Now, self-massage is a really grounding thing to do as well. And as such, I am introducing a new class on Friday, Abhyanga. Again, I won't talk about it now, but clearly if you're interested, you can look it up. Look down. So it helps us connect to our body, as well, of course, loosening. Good. And then just release. Take a moment. How are we feeling? Good. And then from here, let's transition onto our hands and knees. For our cat-cow stretch, normally we use lion's breath here. Feel free to use it again if you like to use it. It's a good breath. It's a cleansing pranayama. Again, it's grounding. All pranayams help us ground, help us focus. Inhale, exhale. If you haven't given you this suggestion today, but if you do want to name your negative thoughts, feelings, emotions that you're holding on to, they're not serving you, you can. Just really just loosening up into that spine. We've done a lot of work around the hips already, but it's still good to just mobilize that spine before we get going. Let's look down at the knees, hold the position, feel into your spine. Is there anything in particular that you could help release? And then tuck your toes under, walk your hands towards your feet, push into the floor and ground yourself while we slowly rise up now. Very good. And let's get ready for our salute to sun now. And yeah, just make sure you have just what you need. I would recommend not wearing socks because socks mean that we don't have quite as much balance and support. Even the toe socks I don't like to use when I'm doing Sudori Namaskara. So, are we all right? You okay, guys? Yeah? Good. Hope you're all okay at home as well. So we know, listen to your body. Listen to your body's feelings today. Listen, be wise to what's right for you, honouring the law of karma. So, earthing. Lift up the toes and try and splay them one at a time. Now, we didn't do the separating of the toes today because we did the feet from lying down, but let's see if we can play the piano with our toes. So just lift them up and try and wiggle them out. Come to the front edge of your mat and do your best to place them down one at a time. Even if they don't do that, just do your best and think it. And then splay your toes and feel really grounded in earth, like your feet are roots. Draw up on the arches of your feet, pull up through the fronts of your legs, pull up your kneecaps and draw up on Mula Bandha, that pelvic lock. Shoulders back and down, chin retracts, take some calm breaths. If you'd like to dedicate your practice, you can. Inhale, sky reaching. Plant the feet. So if your feet aren't grounded, you're not going to have the stability to make a back bend. Keep your back bend quite small. We haven't done really back bends too much as yet. Exhale, hinge forward if your back's strong, otherwise roll down. Bend the knees and hit the glutes. Let them to fire up. That's it, good. And then massage your thighs, your knees, because again we haven't done the massaging of the legs just yet, but we can do it in standing. And then drop all the way down for hand to foot pose. Come into dangle pose. Again, it's important we feel grounded. If there's any reason we don't, then please come out of it. It's making you feel dizzy or whatever else might be occurring. Inhale, look forward, feel the back lengthening. Exhale, drop down. Again, do that again. Breath in. Exhale, drop down. Hold it a couple of moments. Can you ease into this position anymore? Big step back with the right leg, knee to the mat, unless we need to do high lunge for any reason, or warrior one. Pelvis square, push into the right hip. Look down, you should be able to see your big toe on your left side, so your knees not rotating in. Shoulders are back, reach forward with the arms. Bring the hands to the back of the head for a chest and heart opener. Keep pressing into that right hip. Breathe, always come to a calm, steady breath. Moving into down face dog or child pose. So come up onto our feet and walk the dog. Again, a great action for the feet. So really roll onto the toes, and if you can, roll over your toes. So anything when we're doing with feet or knees or legs, you'll know we're working with Muladhara chakra. And we'll do this a couple more times. Again, not everybody rolls over their feet, but do your best. Bend the knees, stomach towards thighs, back nice and long, lift the hips, find your length, stretch out your fingers, that's it, good everybody. And if you have the capacity, start to drop your heels. Now really look and feel into your feet, your knees and your hips. First of all, toes pointing straight ahead. Second, to align with the mat. Check your arches are not falling in. Place some weight on the base of your little toe and draw up the fronts of your thighs. And then draw up on Mula Bandha. So you literally put in place that pelvic lock to protect your spine and bring energy up as well. Both knees to the mat. Move your feet a little bit back as we bend the elbows. Chin, breastbone to the mat for 8 limbs. Glide through. And your version of Cobra. It might be quite low. Let's just work with Cobra. Let's just wiggle our pelvis a little bit side to side. For me, I find these quite freeing. And then you're going to let your toes roll over to your right side and look to your right side. Roll your toes to your left, look to your left. That's it. Again, just at your height. It doesn't matter. There's never any judgment. We just work with what's right for our body today. Good. And then we're going to push back up into down face dog. Look forward and right leg will swing through. That's it. So again, if you're not finding that easy, you can pick up your ankle and bring it through until you have more capacity. Push into your left hip, look down. Can you see your right big toe? And then reach forward with your arms, opening out and looking up to the sky, pushing into your left hip and keeping a steady, calm breath. It's all about maintaining this calmness, not letting the practice become a stressor for you. If it does feel a stressor, just ease up a bit. If you're struggling with something, it will come in time. And now we're going to straighten both legs before we step through. So straighten your left leg and your right leg for a forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. And now step your left leg all the way through. Just on these first 2 rounds, remember we may vary it to incorporate some other moves to help us ease up. Plant the feet so you feel those toes are like roots and lift up for sky reach. And maybe we go a bit deeper this second time. Good, lovely, well done everybody. So inhale, sky reaching. Exhale, hands to foot pose. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, drop down. Take the left leg a big step back. Pressing into that left hip now. Feeling that left hip, rolling the shoulders. This time, let's take the arms behind us to help those shoulders sit back and breathe and look up if that feels appropriate to you. Good, well done, you've all got your balance. And that's it, some nice stretching going on there. Down face dog. Now the second time we go a little bit stronger. We start with swiveling on our feet, so feeling the side of the legs. And then we have the options, don't we, of putting both knees to the mat, or one knee, or full side plank. So you have several options. Side plank, good. We'll do it 4 times to rotate. And the 4th one, this is the 3rd one now. Remember to put one knee to the mat or 2 knees. 4th one, hold it and thread the needle. So we look up to the arm and we thread the needle. Breathe in, breathe out. We have 1 more. Well done. Swivel to the other side and thread the needle on this side. Remember to choose the most nourishing choice. That language is very specifically associated with today's chakra. We had to learn what language to use. Obviously, we develop our own styles, but choose the most nourishing choice. What's the right choice for you today? Come into your down dog, hold it for a few minutes. We'll be coming back into some down dogs when we've done our salute to sun, looking at some options today. And then your second option, isn't it, before you come to the mat, is to hold plank pose. So by all means, go ahead with full plank, chaturanga, if you're able. And if you've got the strength, all the way down in chaturanga, otherwise knees to mat. Glide the feet back. Cobra, maybe you're a little bit higher on this cobra this time. Maybe not. Elbows against waist, shoulders down. Check the form. Try and squeeze your elbows against your waist. That's it. Good. Well done. And your feet. If you're perfect feet, they'd point straight out and be close together. But it doesn't matter. Unless you've got a very flexible spine, you can have your feet more separate. Bend the knees, come into your down dog again. Breathe deeply. Could you deepen the stretch a little bit more now? Take some full deep breaths. You can breathe a little bit more deeply. Now, maybe even use Ujjayi, which is a deeper breath, and Ujjayi is a sounding breath. So if I suggest that we use a deeper breath, go ahead. And then we're going to step that left leg through, but straighten the leg and do forward fold. So rather than putting the knee to the mat, we'll just do a forward fold because we've already worked those hamstrings, so hopefully a bit easier. And then push through with your right leg, hands to foot pose. Inhale, sky reaching. How are our feet feeling? Are they feeling really grounded? And breathe. Lovely. So that's our 2 slow rounds. Now we flow. Inhale. Exhale, hands to foot. Inhale, right leg steps back. Crescent moon. Use whichever hands you prefer. Exhale, down dog. Your option is child pose if you need the rest. Inhale, chaturanga or 8 limbs. Glide through. There is a slight breath hold now. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right. Big step through. Crescent moon. Good. Exhale. Hands to foot. Now you have time to take your time with the pose and see if you can go a bit deeper perhaps. There should be no sense of rushing here. It's all calm. Inhale. Exhale, hands to foot. Inhale, left leg steps back. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, chaturanga, all 8 limbs. Glide through cobra. Good. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, left. Exhale, hands to foot pose. In, sky reaching. Breathe. 2 more rounds just the same. Inhale. Exhale. In, right. Exhale, down dog. Inhale all the way down. Cobra. Exhale, finish your move off, you have time. Inhale, maybe you can go a little bit deeper into your poses, especially when you're getting more accustomed to it. If you're new, don't worry, just do your best. Exhale, which you all are. In, and it will get easier with time. It will come to the point, unless you're under the weather, that you just feel you're not doing it. I know that might sound a contradiction, but if your left leg steps back, if you're working with your breath, you're working calmly, you're in this very zen-like state, exhale, and the breath just takes you through. This is why the breath is so important. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left. Exhale, hands to foot pose. In, sky reaching. Breathe again on the left side. Inhale. Exhale. In, left. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, chaturanga, or 8 limbs. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. In, left. Exhale, hands to foot. In, sky reaching. And breathe. So we have another 6 rounds. We're going to change the step back. Inhale. Exhale. Warrior 1. Right leg steps back. Turn the foot out. Ground ourselves. Look forwards or even back bend. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, chaturanga or 8 limbs. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg steps through, left foot turns out, push into the floor, feel grounded, look ahead or back bend if you've got more capacity. Exhale, hands to foot pose. In, sky reaching. Breathe. Is your breath still calm? Inhale. Exhale. In, left. Big step back. Push down so you're grounded. Look ahead. Find your drishti point. Back bending if you wish. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, chaturanga or 8 limbs. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, hands to foot. In, sky reaching. Breathe. 4 more rounds to go. Same step back. Inhale. Exhale, or high lunge, which is more tricky. High lunge, you step back onto your toes of your right foot. Sink down. So this is very much about balance and stability. Elevated warrior is a nicer name, I think. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, chaturanga, or 8 limbs, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg steps through. Now plant that foot, push into your toes of your left foot, look ahead. And I had a bit of a wobble there, which is not normal for me, but, well, of course I wobble sometimes, but not normally in that position. And I'm just trying to think in my own head why I might have done that. I think it's because I went into a very low position straight away. Exhale. So if we step back with our left leg, don't go too low to start with, but then you can go lower if you've got the strength. Just needs a bit more strength. Exhale. Inhale, all the way down. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg. Always plant the foot. Come up slowly with control, and then you can sink down. It's that point when you transition that you come through that you could wobble if you weren't really grounded. In sky reaching and breathe. Well done, everybody. You have 2 more rounds. Here you have your own choice. Don't worry if it goes wrong. Just work at your level. Music. Wanted this music for down Surya Namaskara. So beautiful, flowy. Well done, everybody. And as usual, when we're finished, we stand quietly, hands at Namaste. Observe your heart rate. Steady beating. If we took our heart rate, it would almost certainly be in the lower range of our heart rate variability for our age. Again, I won't explain that, but ideally come into a certain heart rate range for our age when we do our aerobic work. The healthier your heart is, the lower, of course, you will be. The healthier athlete we are. Then stand in goddess pose, lifting your heart, palms forward. Soften into it though, there's no need to be rigid. See if you can feel any tingling in your arms, your palms, maybe your feet. And then soften again and just stand for a couple of moments, nice and quietly, just looking into Chittakash, just observing how is the mind. I always say in time your mind will be quiet, maybe not at the beginning, as you balance your right and left side of your brain. So remember, this is a balancing practice, Salute to Sun. It has so many benefits. This is why we do it, and this is why we do the 12 rounds, which nearly everybody builds up to in time, even if they end up sitting. And then, as you know, this part now, I just suggest that you just move in any way, flow, dance, stretch. What's your body telling you? Keep your eyes closed so you're not looking around or contrasting or using any, even if you don't mean to, using a judgment of what somebody else might be doing, you might be doing. Your body intuitively knows what's needed. Lovely. And then very slowly, wherever you happen to be, bring yourself back to center. Good. And take a short break while we all hydrate. Well done. You're keeping up with your rounds. Yeah, how are you finding that now?
Easier.
Ooh. Well, yeah, exactly. Good. Well done. Well done at home, Helen, my sister. We're on mute because Helen's been coming since the start of, the first lockdowns. All my other ladies haven't managed to make it on Zoom today. Do hydrate. It's really important. Are you drinking your nettle tea?
Actually, the nettle tea is arriving this morning.
What's that?
It's arriving this morning.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually Ribena.
Ribena. Good colour.
My 101-year-old lady I used to take care of years ago, she used to drink it all the time. So it's just good with me.
Well, it's a good colour for today. I'm not sure about the sugar content though about Ribena.
It's not supposed to have any other sugar.
Oh, good. All right, let's look at some standing grounding work. Are we all right? You're right, Rich? Yeah, good. All right, so I talk about it all the time. We're going to come back to Tadasana, but I'd like us to get blocks. Unless when you squat, you can touch the floor with straight legs, but otherwise 2 blocks, please, if you just help yourself. Yeah. Good. So we know Tadasana, standing mountain pose. I'll just get a couple for Tony. Oh, thanks, Bernadette. Would you mind just putting, thanks, yeah. So, it's okay. We know standing mountain pose. We know that the qualities of the mountain. Let's just remind ourselves for a couple of moments. So we stand in Tadasana, the qualities of the mountain, just as we were doing in Surya Namaskara, we asked you all to stand. But we had our hands at heart. This time we take the hands towards the floor and just feel the qualities of the mountain. That's its English name. Tadasana is its Sanskrit, the mountain pose. Feel grounded, feel stable, feel connected to earth. And again, if you could be outside doing this, it's better. It's really a good thing, to stand on earth with bare feet if you're not feeling very secure. Just earth yourself into Tadasana. And then we're going to come into prayer and we're going to take a rotation. So you're going to need blocks either side of your feet if you are a little bit stiff in your hamstrings. So we come into Tadasana, but be careful the knees don't start to knot. So the ankles, knees and hips are in alignment. And the feet are parallel. It doesn't matter if the feet slightly turn out, but you certainly don't want one more rotated than the other. So just look at your feet. So squat quite low, and then we'll bring the arms over the head. So I'll just come to the side for this for people watching at home. Now this is known as chair pose, Uttanasana, or fierce pose. It's also known as fierce pose, so it's strong. And we use our squats, don't we, to build our leg strength and our glute strength. So it's no good just doing your joint work if you're not going to strengthen your muscles and your joints. Now bring your hands back to your breastbone, thumbs at sternum, and squat quite low. So your stomach is as near to your buttock, not your buttocks, that would be interesting. Well, these muscles are quadriceps, it spits back, nose to forehead, Rich, yeah. It's better, actually. Stomach to buttocks, wow. That would be an interesting move. So let's rotate. So our left elbow comes to the outside of your right knee, and your thumbs stay at your sternum. Watch the knees. Normally your left knee will want to move forwards, and then look up towards your right elbow and breathe. So there's a rotation in there now, of course. A little bit stronger, a bit more work going on. Stay steady, stay calm. Again, it helps us to focus on our breath and our mantra, Om Kriyam Namaha. Bring your left hand to your block or the mat. So your knees are still bent. Right arm stretches up and twist and look towards your right hand. Stay with that. Now, can anybody straighten the legs and still rotate? Maybe we can't get the straight legs just yet, so just breathe into it, keep rotating, and hold it for a few moments. Clearly, if you need to come out of it, you can. Come back to center, thumbs at sternum. Look at the ankles, look at the knees. We don't want to have them rotated inwards or outwards. Right elbow to left knee, thumbs stay at sternum, because if you're a little bit stiff, it might be uncomfortable for you to do that. Check that it's probably the right knee that's going to want to move forward. Try and keep it aligned with the left knee. Look towards the ceiling on your left side. Stay with your breath, stay calm. Right hand comes down to the block. Knees are bent right at the moment. Left arm stretches up, rotate. Stay with bent knees, but see what happens when we straighten the legs. Can we still do it or not? Stay with your breath. And then bring both hands onto the mat. So forward fold, hands to foot pose. This is a very grounding exercise. We do it as part of Salute to Sun, don't we? Both hands, both feet on the mat, and see if you can come into your best version of hand to foot pose. If we're super flexible, the stomach, let's try and get this right. The stomach would be on your thighs. Yes, that's the right word. Fronts of your thighs. And your nose would be on your shins. Now, of course, most of us aren't that flexible, so let's see how we can help that along. By bending the knees, put the arms behind the knees, so hug your stomach towards your thighs, and you'll start to lift your bottom. You'll feel this in your lower back and your glutes. Soften the face, soften the jaw. Keep breathing. Now you can continue to lift your hips as long as your stomach is on your thighs. Now we can feel that stretch that's needed now. And if we're a little bit more flexible, we can start to slide the hands towards the ankles and draw on the ankles and see if we can forward fold a little bit more. Maybe you've gone a little bit deeper into the pose, but now the key now is to surrender to it, breathe, not try and force it, soften and let go. And then hold that stillness, that steadiness that's required for this pose. So we learn to be comfortable with discomfort, because I expect we're all feeling quite a good stretch in our hamstrings, lower back, buttocks. Can you surrender to it? Don't fight it. And then to come out of it, come back into chair pose, quite strong, back into chair. So you probably all feel your legs quite strongly now. Maybe deepen that squat a bit more and come out of it. Well done, everybody. And give yourself a little bit of shake out. I've just in the bar class, well, I did about 3/4 of it with Georgie. My goodness, by now my legs and buttocks are really knowing about it. So if you want to really tone up and really get a good workout, you can come to bar beforehand. Okay, let's just take a moment. My body feels I need it, partly because of the bar. Let's just come into Hindi squat for a moment, as low as you can. I can feel that my hips, my buttocks need to be stretched. I know not everybody makes an easy Hindi squat, but again, just do your best. Again, keep that calmness. Can we learn to remain calm even when something's really challenging? Can we keep that stillness? And that is an art. It takes practice. Good. And then we'll slowly come up. All right. And have a shake. Now, we're going to look at down face dog. How are we doing for time? And a couple of options. In fact, we're going to look at what's called Wild Thing. I like that name. Its other name, what's it also called? Flip the Dog, but Wild Thing sounds better to me. Do you feel like being wild things? Yes. Of course you do. Just watch first, please. If you know what I'm doing or you want to practice something else for a moment, you can. So first of all, our down dog. So it's both hands, both feet on the mat. Then we're going to lift the right leg and we're going to do, that's actually called scorpion dog, when you open your right hip and your toes are going towards the mat. Now for some of us, that will feel enough. We won't feel we've got the strength or the confidence to push into the left hand, tip over and look to the back of the room and make a lovely big back bender, as much back bend as your body can make. Some people go up onto their toes and they can make super big back bends. And then we'll do down dog and then we'll come into child before we do the other side. So let's have a go at that. So you can all do down face dog. Are you feeling wild, Bernadette?
Not that wild.
Oh, come on, just let rip, you know. Good. Wild thing, right. So get that into your head, your wild things. Yeah, so we start in our down face dog. Bend the knees and lift your hips and press down. Now, it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that you feel grounded. There's no way that you want to start lifting legs and feet and certainly not flipping until feel grounded. So if you're not that strong yet, you must choose when it's right to stop you. So lift your right leg. I think hopefully you're all able to do that. Yes, that's it. Can you give that right leg, don't be too near the wall, Tony. I don't want you to hurt your feet or anything. Can you stretch up your right legs at the moment? Just stretch them really, really high. Good. So work with those hamstrings. Now bend the right knee and take the toes of the right leg as near to the floor on the left side. So feel the opening of your right hip and just play around with it. How would it feel if you took the right hand away and tipped that right foot over? If you think you could do it safely, push into your left hand to be strong and then tip over. Now, of course, if you're not so strong in your wrists, well done, Bernadette's there, gosh, super wild. And can you come out of it, Bernadette? Tip yourself back round. Oh, well done. Yeah, well, there you go. I bet you never thought yourself, if you come to the first. Well, there you go. Because, yeah, it's not natural and it feels a bit scary. Yeah, particularly if you're not super strong. Anyway, that's super good. So well done. Let's all just sit back in child and just recollect and collect our thoughts and just calm down. I don't want you getting too wild in my class. So you can be wild to a point. Oh, not too wild. Keep the calmness. Yeah, very good. And clearly at home, just do what you can. And of course, this is the nice thing about being live. We can interact with each other and, talk and work things out. Let's go the other side. So check your space, everybody. We don't want to be taking feet into walls or anything like that. Bend the knees and hold. So you really need a really control down face dog. You have to have strength in down face dog. Clearly it's upper body strength. Push down. You might want to, let's just to start with a really big stretch of your left leg. So see how high, that's actually a different exercise. So we won't explore that too much today. But go for a big stretch. It's known as three-legged dog actually when you lift your leg. Now open the left hip. So lift the knee as high as you can and your toes of your left foot as near to the right side, and then push into your right foot and flip yourself round and come into your wild thing, making your big back bend if you can, pushing. Lovely, good Rich, good Bendette, well done. Spin yourself back round, down face dog everybody, and then just for a moment sit back into child pose. So for some of us that was a new exercise, a new asana, and it's always nice, okay, I've done that today. And always, celebrate it and say to yourself, well done. Whether you're a complete beginner and you've just done 12 rounds of Salute to Sun or you're not, I think it's really important that we, say well done and be grateful and that you've been able to do that. Maybe you never thought you'd do things like that. All right, so how are we doing? We'll just do one more standing asana and include our back bends. We're going to go from down dog to up dog. And the reason I'd like to do this because it involves rolling over your toes if you can. So let me again show you. So you're in down face dog. Now you come up onto your tiptoes and I've just moved my feet back a little bit and I'm coming into almost a plank and a roll over my toes and drop my pelvis to the mat, but not right down. So you can see my arms are straight, my pelvis is no longer the mat, my shoulders are down, roll back over. I don't do a great roll over my toes, but I can sort of do it well enough to do the exercise. So some of you will not perhaps have the capacity to roll over your toes. So for me, I have to slightly move my feet back so you can see I'm as if I'm moving into a plank. Then I roll over my toes, try and correct the position because I could feel that my ankles were slightly out of alignment, and then drop the pelvis slightly, don't have a rigid arm, a slight softness in the elbow, shoulders down and look ahead. That is known as up dog. So down dog, up dog. And I'm having to correct myself. For those of you who can't roll over your toes, I think you'll just have to maybe come onto your knees and drop down and then come into it. I'm not quite sure. You might have to just work it out for yourself. So if you can do that rolling over your toes, some people do it really easily. They have flexible feet, others of us don't. That's it. So just see how you get on. That's it. Work your way through. That's it. Good, Rich. Have a little go. So clearly it involves flexibility of feet, ankles, upper body strength. And then when you're in up dog, just check your alignment of your feet. So if you have, particularly if you have rolled over, you don't want your knees, your ankles twisted. So you can just do that, look back, and you can just hold it. Actually, it's a back exercise anyway to look back. So I don't know how that's going for you. The face shows that it's not the most simple of things. All right, it's a bit uncomfy, but again, it's to get the movement in the feet. Yeah, well done, Brenda. That's good, yeah. Good, lovely. You're doing that, Rich, because you
exercises on the toes.
Sitting on the toes. You know how sometimes I tend to do it more in Pilates when we tuck the toes under and sit on the feet. You can try it, and we do it in Yin Yoga. So if you can sit on your heels, again, knees might not allow that, but it's a good stretch for your feet, and it helps prevent arthritis. And while we're having a go at whatever we'd like, just do some wrist work, some circles. That's it, good. So that's also your back bends. All right, so let's come into our inversions now. Let's come to the mat. And let's look today at, I always think this is interesting. Now, this might just be my feet. When I'm upside down, and you can do the, you can use a bolster if you don't want to do when I'm upside down in shoulder stand, I don't have mobile toes. But when I'm upside down, for me, I don't know, they're not very mobile in comparison to other people, my toes are more flexible. I can open them more, I can wiggle them around, and I just like looking at my toes when I'm upside down because they're better than they are when I'm lying down. So I'd like you to see, maybe it's just me, just see if you can wiggle your toes out more. And then let's just have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into it. Just let me show you. We're going to then have a go at candle pose. So we start with our hands in our back like so, and we're going to begin to lift our hips as high as we can. We're going to bring up one arm, then the other. If you have your balance, both arms, and then the intention, I'll have to stop talking, is to make your legs as straight as you can. I don't know if anybody can get totally onto the shoulders, but I can't. And hold it. That's known as candle pose. If you've got the flexibility, you can go into plough. And then from here, you can roll yourself back down and go into fish pose. You can do 2 legs if you're strong. Otherwise, remember, it's 1 leg at a time. And if you're doing 1 leg at a time and you're not on your arms, roll to one arm, then the other. So your arms are underneath you, you can interlink your thumbs, push into your elbows, drop the head. Now that sequence might feel a bit long, might be a bit challenging for some of us. Do your best. So shoulder stand, using your block if you want to do the restorative. Wiggle out your toes, see what happens. Yeah, let your legs drop a little bit back towards the floor. One hand up. I can talk it through for you actually. So let's go into shoulder stand. I'll be watching. And just make your best shoulder stand. If you want to put your bottom on a bolster, you can, if you want to do the restorative version. And just keep your legs in the air for a moment when you're there, and try and come into full shoulder stands. So make your legs as straight as you can, and wiggle out your toes. Just make them really wiggly. So your toes are really wiggly anyway, Rich. Do you think they're any more wiggly upside down or not?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I've never thought about.
No, well, because your toes work well anyway. But for me, I just noticed that they're just that little bit more flexible when I'm upside down. I don't know why. It might say just be my toes, but I'd be interested to know if anybody else's toes. That's their experience. Now, from here, let's see what happens with the candle pose. First of all, drop your feet towards the floor behind you, so they're not right to the floor, so that you're in quite a bent position. Now, straighten up one leg, slowly, and then the second leg. And then it's your arms, you do them one at a time. So you're trying to get your legs and your arms pointing as high as you can to the ceiling. And it is a balance exercise, clearly. So play around with it. That's it. Now, once you've got both arms in the air, see if you can get your legs straighter. That's it, Tony. That's it. So it's a core strength exercise and a balance. That's it. So don't worry if you can't get your legs really super straight. Just go as far as you can. And see if you can hold your balance. So in order for us to hold balance, we've got to have a calm mind as well. That's it. Well done. Well done. 3 of you are trying it. Now, what you're going to try and do is get your legs even higher. And then you might get to the point where you start to think, no, I can't do it. I'm going to fall over. That's all right if that happens. So calm mind. Well done. You're all doing some version. Maybe try one hand, Carol. Up to this, just one at a time. You put your other hand in your back though, to support you. All right, well done. If you'd like to, when you're ready, go into plough. That's when your feet come to the floor behind your head. And what you might want to do here, I'll do it with you to remind you. So we've gone from shoulder stand, and then you can take the feet down one at a time, and see if you can get your feet near to the floor. Again, don't force it. If you've got the flexibility, tuck your toes under. So your toes are tucked under and you're pushing against the floor with your feet, your toes. Try and get your back straight. Stay here for a few rounds of breathing. Soften your face, soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Just be comfortable with that position. And then you can, if you wish, very slowly come out of it. Either double legs, if you've got that strength, resting on your arms, letting the legs drop down, or one leg at a time. If you've come down with 2 legs, you can push off and with your arms and drop your head back. If you've come down one leg at a time and you're just lying on your mat and you want to try fish pose, roll to your left side, put your right arm underneath your body, roll onto that arm, roll off your left side, put your left arm underneath your body, thumbs connecting, push into your elbows, lift your head, and drop it back to the crown, back to the mat. Or do that on your bolster. So you lie on your bolster and your head drops off the end. Do your restorative version. Good. Again, just stay here for a few moments. Don't try and rush out of anything. Good. Well done. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into a final relaxation, I always give at the end of class in 7 Spiritual Laws of Yoga a few moments, 3 or 4 minutes or so, to do your own practice of anything you'd like to do that would serve you the best today. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a stretch, it can be a pranayama, it can be shavasana. So just feel your body. Just for a moment, lie there, feel into your body and feel where you might need to release more. What asana do you feel you need to do? And that's the one that we should do. If you would need some help, you're not sure what you need to do, let me know and I can come and help you. Again, it is about learning to be intuitive to our body's needs, listening to your needs. And the reason, again, we do this is clearly because we may get a wide range of abilities, which is fine, but also it's teaching us all to take self-responsibility. You know, feel into your own body. What does it need from me? And because I've just embalmed my buttocks, I know I'm going to be aching unless I give them a real good stretch. So I'm going to do pigeon pose. If anybody wants to follow me, feel free. I'm going to do the one on my front. So I've got my right ankle, right shin, I should say, is parallel to the front edge of the mat as I can manage. Left leg is stretched back. And we're square in our pelvis, so the 2 hip bones are square to the front. We might need to stay there, or if we've got more flexibility, we come slowly down, resting on our elbows or even the face on the mat, and we just breathe into it. And stay with whatever position you're doing, eyes closed, soften, surrender. if you've chosen to follow me in pigeon pose, always very slowly come out of it, move your left leg forward. You can hold on to your foot to help you keep the balance. Right leg stretches back. Feel that right leg stretching. And slowly come down onto your hands, your elbows, or even with your face onto your hands, and just stay here. See if you can soften and surrender to whatever pose you're using. And then when you know you're ready to relax, please come into your Shavasana, just steadily and slowly. And I will come round and help you with your shoulders and neck with my Neal's Yard Rose Balm. Right. I'm going to just get a mask from, normally I leave a mask by the stereo, but it's not there. I'm just going to find my mask. So, as usual, I'll be coming to help you with your shoulders, your neck and your head. If you're at home, then you may like to put some crystals on your body. You may like to anoint yourself with your own oils. I will be helping you unless you'd rather I didn't come close to you, but I do have a mask on. So allow yourself now, as we do, just to settle into Shavasana. Don't get cold. If you'd like to have your blankets on, please do. So in our usual way, we'll be finishing with chanting our chakra sounds. You can, as you know, stay lying, or you may choose to sit. We will chant one sound after the other, again a very grounding practice to do. The root chakra is of course the first one, Muladhara, and I will just remind you of the sound for this one, as it is important that we at least tone, the sound of the chakra working with. It's Lam. And remembering that we're aiming to vibrate this place of the body. So it's a form of sound healing. While we do this, we also visualize the color of red. And then just follow the other ones as best as you can. If there's somebody completely new in the class, I'll explain each chakra in turn, but I don't tend to do that if there's no newcomers. So whether you're sitting or lying, bring your awareness to your root chakra. Take a deep breath in. If you're lying, please begin to stretch out as you feel the need, taking your time. When you're ready, you can sit upright with your eyes still closed, but roll over to your favorite side for a few moments first. Just always very gradually and slowly coming out. There's no rush ever. So we bring our hands to Namaste and we seal today's mantra in. My actions are aligned with the universe. Om Kriyam Namaha. And I always think this is a lovely way of reminding us of the power of karma and the ability of our own body to act as a witness. If we need to make a decision, a choice, ask yourself what that choice is, should you go ahead with that decision, and then go into meditation. And while you're still in this calm state, just before you fully come out, ask yourself again, and then just sit quietly and listen to your body. Normally, we'll get a feeling of comfort or discomfort. And if we're getting that slight discomfort, we're not sure, then that choice is probably not the right choice. The decision at that point in your life, maybe in a week's time or 6 months or a year it might be. So learning to use our body as a choice determining instrument. Feel free to have a look in your 7 Spiritual Laws of Success book for more information about this. Rub your palms, feel the warmth, and then bring that energy to the eyes. Look into Chittakash. Observe darkness, or colour, or shape, or form, whatever may manifest. Separate the fingers. Don't open the eyes yet. Just observe again how we feel. When you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. If you find yourself quite in a deep state, it can help to do a seated spine twist. That can just help slightly bring us round. But don't force that coming round, just take as long as you need. So well done, everybody. Thank you for your presence. Whether you're here with me in the studio, at home, on Zoom, or on catch-up, we do hope you're all keeping well, and as ever, we hope to see some of you back in the studio, perhaps not those of you who are long distance, but thank you. Namaste. Namaste.